Hello, geeks, freaks, and all those unique. It's MC Frodas, and we're blasting into the future with Season 3 of Star Trek Discovery, reviewing Episode 9, Terra Firma, Part 1. And wow! Um, this episode was really great. I mean, I'm just gonna get right into it. So, we had a couple of plots going on, but there's one major one, which is what we spent most of the episode on. So, we're first of all trying to cure Georgiou of her ailment, which we've found out some more about because we have Cronenberg come back to illuminate Culber with what's going on. And oh my god, just right off the bat, Christmas came early for me because we got a reference to the Kelvin verse, and you know how I feel about the Kelvin verse. So just having a reference to it in any way just makes me so goddamn happy. I just like that knowing that it's still out there somewhere and that we haven't completely forgotten about it. But we find out from Cronenberg that what's happening with Georgiou is that the stress of jumping forward in time and being from another dimension, reality is, basically pulling her molecules apart, and that this has happened before. Using Discovery's new computer that is, merged with the knowledge base thing, they're able to find out that there's a small chance of being able to save Georgiou, and they have to jump to this uninhabited planet, and she and Michael go down to the planet, and then we'll get back into their plot later. But we also have Adira and Stamets trying to figure out what happened with the burn. I love these two together. They have such a great relationship. I think we're seeing a lot more from Stamets, a lot of different sides of him. Because before he was kind of just like this prickly guy who the only time there was really any softness to him was with Culber, but now he is developing this very paternal relationship with Adira. And I think it's just so sweet. And I think Stamets basically vocalized what I said in my review last week, that Gray had stepped back so that Adira can make connections in the real world, which, now that I've said it and Stamets has said it, I am absolutely sure that's not what's going on. It's going to be something else. It's either going to be something else, or there's going to be a reason why Gray is going to have to reassert himself. So very interested to find out where that goes. But they're able to decode the message that, or decrypt the message, that the distress call, and it was from a ship of Kelpians. So not only did they join the Federation, but they've got their own ships. And just the emotion from Saru seeing another Kelpian, even one that had lived 100 years previously and was in the process of dying because she had radiation burns, was so affecting. I love everything that they're doing with Saru this season. There hasn't been... There's been a couple of episodes that have had a deep focus on him, but it feels like every episode there is more of him. There was maybe one episode that I'd say that, he had a solid, plot line, but just steadily throughout the season we are developing more of Saru as the captain. And I really like that instead of just, let's focus all our energy on one story for him, let's instead put it in every single episode. And Saru is one of my favorite characters, so that's, a lot of fun to see. But the biggest part of this episode is when Michael and Georgiou go down to this planet. They are met by this mysterious guy named Carl, who a friend of mine asked, is Carl spelled with a Q? Because he is this very mysterious and very seemingly powerful guy who's able to create a door, and says that, through that door lay Georgiou's cure. And Georgiou goes through the door and ends up on Discovery in the Mirror Universe right before Lorca and Michael attempted their coup. So this is the meat of the episode. Like all of that other stuff I talked about, it's certainly present. But this, once we get into the mirror universe, we don't break away from it. And it does take up a majority of the episode. And I have to say, there's been a lot of Mirror Universe episodes, enough that you could probably rank them all in like a pretty sizable list. I think this is the best Mirror Universe episode. And I say that as somebody who absolutely loves the stuff they did over on Deep Space Nine, and the original Mirror Mirror is a classic. But this episode, in terms of being a Mirror Universe episode, is the best because this is like the first time anybody from the Mirror Universe felt like a real character. Like, I mean, other than like Georgiou obviously felt like a real character, and I think we saw enough of the Intendant on Deep Space Nine that she became her own character. But for the most part, the Mirror Universe characters are nothing but, oh, they're like our character, but backwards. And here we actually got to see how the Mirror Universe worked as the Mirror Universe. It's not somebody from our universe coming in and looking at it. This is an actual look at the Mirror Universe. And first of all, I think this is great because we really get a look at Georgiou as a character. And certainly, yes, I have a huge major crush on Michelle Yeoh, but we have had very little of her character so far. We needed to develop her more. And specifically, we needed to develop her as someone who was changing, because she has been holding on to this whole idea of her as the Empress of the Mirror Universe, of the Terran Empire. And she can't stay like that. If she's going to be in the Prime Universe, it's important for her to break out of that. And also, like I said, I like seeing the Mirror Universe as just as the regular goings on, rather than any crossover between our universe and their universe. And I think it's kind of summed up in a line that Georgiou had to Saru when Saru comments on his closeness to Prime Universe Georgiou, and Mirror Georgiou says, "In my universe, we're the Prime Universe, and you're the Mirror." So it was nice to see in her vision that exactly how this universe works. It felt real, even though, funnily enough, it is her vision. But we got to see some, fantastic stuff. I loved the fight with Owoshikun, and I can't remember the name of the other guy. I'm really sorry, because he certainly is one of those, like mauve shirt characters, or it's like he's always around. But seeing that, this is how they get their promotions, which we knew that, but we haven't really seen a demonstration of that since Mirror Mirror. And getting to see Mirror Michael, and really see Mirror Michael. I mean, unfortunately, they can't get Jason Isaacs back, so they can mention Lorca, but we're never actually gonna see him. That's unfortunate, because I love Jason Isaacs. I really wish that Prime Universe Lorca was still around. Maybe we can eventually find out, maybe in Strange New Worlds, that Lorca survived, because I would like to see him again. But yeah, it was really interesting seeing how this universe worked, and seeing how Georgiou has actually changed by being in the Prime Universe, because certainly Georgiou, when we first met her, would give absolutely no thought to Saru, because we'd already seen that in her first episode when she and Michael dined on Kelpian ganglia. But here she can't. Saru's her friend, her ally, and the idea of anything happening to him, she stops it. And we can see how much she regrets what happened with her Michael. And is trying to make up for it. And it's going to be interesting to find out how all of this affects her illness, because obviously this is some sort of journey into the mind that's supposed to, you know, either help or hurt her. I, there's a part two, obviously, so we don't really know what's going to happen. And I am yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to talk about this because we do only have the one part. So I am interested in what they've set up, but also wondering how exactly does this tie to what's going on. Um, what is Georgiou supposed to do to make make herself better? Is she supposed to just let history run its course? Is she supposed to change things? What exactly is supposed to happen? And what will happen? Because I don't know. Very interested in all of this. This I really feel like Discovery is starting. I mean, not start. I'm somebody who's been a huge fan of Discovery since I started watching it, and I liked seasons 1 and 2. But there is something special about season 3. I think getting out from under the shadow of the TOS era is befitting it. It's really helping it out because it is able to blaze this new path. And frankly, I'm looking even more forward to season 4, because it does feel like with each season, Discovery's been reinventing itself. And it only feels like now that they've kind of figured out what they want to do. So I think while I'm enjoying what they're doing now, I think I'm going to enjoy it even more once everything's kind of, we've got everything in place. Yeah, this was a really great episode, and I can't wait to see part 2, because there is always the problem with Trek two-parters where the first part is really good, and then the second part is kind of wah wah. So we just gotta hope that they kind of hold it up. Yeah. So, yeah. So, tell me down below in the comments what you thought of Terra Firma Part 1. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I do lots of Star Trek videos, as well as Star Wars, Supernatural, and other geeky things. If you want to support me, you can go to my Patreon, or you can buy me a coffee. You can also go to my TeePublic or Redbubble and buy t-shirts and other merchandise. Today I am wearing my Trash Compactor podcast t-shirt, which is my Star Wars podcast. Hopefully I'll be having news on that very soon. But until next time, live long and may the Force be with you.